Jerry and I were extremely touched and honored to be asked by Liz and John to present them with this special 40th anniversary C. Newton Schenck III Award for Lifetime Achievement in and Contribution to the Arts. Liz and John, individually and as a couple, have had a profound and sustained impact on the arts in New Haven, Connecticut, and nationally. They came to New Haven in 1997, Liz to be first producer, then managing director, and then co-executive director of the International Festival of Arts and Ideas, and John as the general manager and then executive director of Shubert Theater.
In those years, the Shubert was going through difficult times financially, and John pretty much single-handedly kept it afloat. Through hard work and grit, he rebuilt it and reestablished it as the iconic theater it is today.
Liz's steady leadership, vision, hard work, and enthusiasm have been a bedrock for the International Festival all these years. Both Liz and John believe in the power of the arts to transform the world and have made it their lives' work to engage, provoke, and delight audiences. Their resiliency, good humor, and passionate commitment to the arts has been a tremendous gift to the New Haven community.
Newt Schenck, for whom the award is named, was a quiet powerhouse for the arts in New Haven, instrumental in creating the Audubon Street Arts District, and as a passionate longtime board chair and founder of the Longworth Theater. It is our great honor to present the C. Newton Schenck III Lifetime Achievement Award in and Contribution to the Arts to Liz and John Fisher.
Yay.
Thank you so much. And this is it. This is the Arts Council's new award. I don't know if you can, sorry. There you go, and that's what it looks like.
That's lovely.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you so much for this award, Daniel, Winter, and everyone at the Arts Council. And a special thank you to our colleagues, the board, and our friends at the Shubert and the festival for always being there and for the amazing box of goodies you delivered today that we're going to dig into as soon as we're done on this Zoom call.
Yeah, we were going to, we suggested that Roz and Jerry show theirs and they pretend that it's magically transferring, which would have been fun because since it changed this year. That would have been the magic of COVID, I guess, and the internet.
Through the Zoom.
When Daniel when Daniel first called us back in June to tell us we'd been receiving this award, he also told us that the only other time it had been awarded to a couple was when it was given to Roz and Jerry Myers. We were so flattered, but also a lot overwhelmed.
You have done so much in this community that to be mentioned in the same breath with you was breathtaking. Without them, the New Haven art and theater scene would look very different than it does today. So our first thought when Daniel called was, what? No. And then it was, good Lord. And finally, Daniel, are you sure you called the right number?
It's a funny thing when getting a Lifetime Achievement Award. It means you're old. I mean, nobody gets one when they're 20 or 30, right? We hadn't felt old before, so we also wanted to thank the committee, the Arts Council, for that. Liz and I have worked in the arts for a combined total of more than 90 years. We started young, very young. So don't bother to trying to count up on your fingers. We're not that old.
With the exception of 2 years that John spent running the satellite Olympic villages for the 1996 Olympic Games, neither of us has ever worked in any other industry. We've never done work outside of the arts. Although, to be fair, I started in the circus so long ago that we still called it entertainment. All this to say that although we don't feel old, there's quite a bit of water under those bridges and lots of years of all the frustrations, the pleasures, the mostly highs, and a very few lows that make up the body of a lifetime of work. We recognize and acknowledge the advantages and opportunities that we've had simply by virtue of being white and working in a world where racism is baked firmly into the system, where the network of people that we knew and who worked with, who were mostly also white, carried us from place to place and from job to job without a pause. And yes, we worked hard, but we had the opportunity to work hard, which not everyone gets. It's privilege of the most insidious kind, and it needs to end.
Easy for us to say as we approach the end of our working lives, but we pledge to continue to work towards a more just future for those coming along now in the work we've dedicated our lives to.
Mr. Google, who's the boss of all things, defines resilience as the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties, as toughness, as the ability of a substance or an object to spring back into shape, elasticity. Working in the arts absolutely requires those traits and those abilities for everyone. If you don't have them when you start, you better acquire them quickly, or maybe move on to less stressful work. Say, a nice quiet job in a dynamite factory.
The arts are the first thing cut from every budget, the first classes dropped from school curriculums, and the last thing almost any parent wants to hear that their kid is majoring in. And yet art is one of the only universal consumables. It's like air and water. It's a part of every day, whether we notice it or not, a part of being human. It gives color to our lives. It speaks to us when we are unable to hear, and for us when we are unable to speak. It connects generations, cultures, communities in ways that nothing else can. It changes lives, hearts, and minds.
We know we're preaching to the choir here, but we wanted to call out how proud we are to have used these many years of our lives in this good work. And speaking of the choir, all of you here today in the Zoom room, singers all, are our work families, our friends, and our real families. You have stood together with us, and we love and appreciate you.
Nothing happens in our world without you. You have carried us when things were hard and laughed with us when things went well. We have danced through the joys and trials of life together these many years and hope to for many years to come.
So Daniel, Roz, Jerry, and everyone here with us today, we thank you, and everyone at the Arts Council for this award. It means the world to us.
Thank you.